Hey there, friends. Today I want to share with you 2 verses that are foundational to the wide open space. In my journey through anxiety, I came to realize that I had a really distorted view of not only myself, but a distorted view of who God was and how God sees me and sees all of us that He's created. These verses became not only a lifeline, but a completely transforming experience. And they are ones that I have chosen to meditate on and really settle myself into as I go about my day, interact with the Lord, interact with people around me, and maybe most importantly, in the way that I speak to myself. Have you ever thought about what motivates you, or analyzed yourself for a minute to think of how you see yourself? These verses, they come from Psalm 119, where we find the phrase, a wide open space, in the Message translation, and Ephesians 1, also in the Message translation. And I'm just going to read them to you right now and then explain my heart behind a wide open space and what these verses mean to us. So in Psalm 119, let your love, God, shape my life with salvation, exactly as you promised. And there's so much more in the rest of that verse where we find wide open space, but that opening line is so important. Let your love, God, shape my life with salvation, just as you promised. It's His love that shapes and transforms us. It's not His judgment. It's not His perfection. It's not His holiness. All things that are great, but it's His love. And that love gives us salvation. It doesn't give us a temporary pass. It doesn't give us condescension. It gives us salvation itself. And it's what He promised. A almost parallel sort of verse we find in Ephesians 1, which is the other one I was going to share today. It says, long before He laid down earth's foundations, He had us in mind, and He settled on us as the focus of His love, to be made whole and holy by His love. Again, this verse speaks to a plan that God had before we ever came on the scene and messed things up with all of our, damaged and sinful selves. Before we ever showed up, He planned on us, and He planned to love us. He planned to focus on us with His love, and that would be the very route that He would take to make us whole or healed and full and healthy, and that would be the route that He would take to make us holy, set apart like Him, His love. Not His judgment, not His perfection, not His I need to fix you, not anything condescending, but His love. These verses are, I feel, mind-blowingly transforming for someone who has struggled for a lot of years with anxiety and people-pleasing, for always feeling like I never quite measured up, for feeling like life had to be walked in this tight tightrope, maybe even more so in the church than in the rest of the world, that you really had to mind your P's and Q's and do things just right. These verses absolutely set me free, because they said to me, no matter what, I'm already banked in this place of love. There's nothing more that I can do to earn it, because I already have it. And there's nothing that I can do to screw it up, because before I ever showed up, God decided it would be there for me. And here's what I want to encourage you with. In the wide open space, the primary directive and motive, The language that is spoken over you by your Father God is one of love. That is what he chooses to step in and transform us with. Love is full of grace and compassion. Love is full of mercy, and it is patient with us. Love picks us up when we are down, dusts us off, strengthens our knees, lifts our chin, strengthens our backbone and our resolve, and says, I'm with you. You've got this. You are my beloved son or daughter. I am so proud of you. Keep going. My son Jesus covers you. He is within you, and he will be with you wherever you go. To the ends of the ages, you are mine, and I am yours. It is the voice of love. How do you see yourself today? How do you speak to yourself? Can I challenge you to throw off every voice of shame, every voice of condemnation, every voice that ridicules, that says should and ought, every voice that tells you you'll never quite make it, you're alone, you'll never be good enough? Throw those off and instead take on that voice of patience and love and kindness from Father God himself, to walk freely in the wide open space. Be blessed today. Walk in love.